Hey, hold on, I'm trying to fix my audio. There we go. Okay, I'm going to get started. I know Caitlin was on here just a minute ago. Hopefully she'll be able to pop back on. But welcome. You're watching the replay. Hopefully we'll get a couple of people to join. But I actually announced this a little bit last minute, which is fine. Sometimes I have to operate that way, and it's been a crazy, crazy couple of weeks. But I don't want to. I've only got so much time here on Zoom because it's not something that I pay for at this point in time. So I want to get going just as quickly as possible. So let me share my screen. It's been a long time since I did this, y'all. See if this works. All right. Let me go find. There it is. Okay, here we go. Oh, look at me looking like I know what I'm doing. Just takes me a minute. Um, so welcome. Um, this is a little thing I had in mind that I was going to work on as a presentation for my team anyway. And then during World Tour recently, so that was a couple of weeks ago, Chuck Thompson, who's our Chief Culture Officer, his segment of World Tour training, he said, was talking about watch your way. And it was really hitting on how Scentsy can kind of be what you want it to be, and it's pretty basic, and you just continue to do the basic things with consistency, and that's what turns into a successful business. So, like I said, the beauty of this business is that, and yes, I have notes to keep me from squirreling, so bear with me when I look at those. The beauty of this business is that you are in charge, but that's also the hardest part because you have to be the one that drives you. You have to be the one that decides what to do, when to do, and all of that kind of stuff. And that's the goal of this training is for me to help guide you in that direction of what to do and when to do, even if you're a super busy person like I am. Um, so um, the biggest block for most people in a direct selling business is time. It's the excuse I get a lot, either from people who are on the team already or people I'm talking to about taking advantage of the opportunity. It's like, I just don't have any extra time. We're a really busy culture, and the thought of adding more to our schedule can really put us in an overwhelming paralysis. And what that tends to do is we do nothing. We're like, it's just too much. I can't do it. So I'm just going to sit in my comfort zone and I'm going to do nothing. And I'm going to hope that some sales or some team members are just going to land in my lap and I'll go with that. But that's not going to work. So let's fix that for you. Let's get a plan that works best for you and your season of life, your family, and what you have going on right now. And it takes a plan and it takes some intentionality. So let's get right into it. So step one is going to be to write down your schedule. What do you do in a given day, a given week, maybe even a given month? So I want you to start with your church activities. If you have them, and I know that's not something that everybody's involved with, and by no means that I'm saying that you need to be a churched person or of a particular religion or anything like that. It's just I am, and for me, I put that first, so I put it first on the list. So if you have church activities, do you attend church services of any sort? Um, do you serve in any sort of way? This can also be volunteer activities outside of anything church-y. Just those kind of things. The next thing you need to write down and your schedule. And right now, if you just want, doesn't have to be anything special. If you've got a planner, great. If not, just write it down on a piece of paper. Okay. I'm not wanting this to be really complicated. I want I don't want it needs to be a deep dive so you get everything covered. So maybe you're blocking that out somehow. We'll get to the wins and whats, but right now just jot it down on a piece of paper. Maybe you even write down church Sunday morning if you whatever time you want to block out for that, or volunteering at the library and you want to um break that down on what day that is. So Caitlin's getting connected again. Um, there she is. Okay, so Caitlin, you're right on time. You just missed the intro, no big deal. Um, so we're going over step number one, which is writing down your schedule. Um, First thing, if you have a church or if you have volunteer activities, put those in, write them down. Number two, do you have a partner, significant other, spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend, um, live in, whatever that looks like? Who is your um, life partner, whatever you call that person? Make sure you're allocating time for them. Do you have a regular date night? If you're single, are you doing activities to be not single that you want to make sure is penciled in? Like you want to keep Friday night, Saturday night free in case you get asked out. Or I don't know, maybe you're setting aside time to, look at some of those dating apps or to go to a dating thing. I don't know. It's been a long time since I was in the dating world. Number three, I want you to write down any needs pertaining to your children. And that means, do you drop them off at school? Do you pick them up at school? Do you take them to practice? Do they go to a youth program? Do they have a music thing that they do? Are they in scouts? Any of those sorts of things, write those down. Household chores. We want to make sure our house gets taken care of. We don't want running a Scentsy gig to be an excuse for, you know, 14 inches of dust somewhere. And I honestly, I am not the best at four, but write those down, include them, whatever your house cleaning time is, your laundry time, all of those sorts of things. Oh, I've got duplicates of four. I obviously need to go and update my slides. Um, so also personal care. What do you do to take care of you? Is that going to the gym? Is that getting your nails done? Is it weekly bubble baths? Is it whatever that is? Make sure you're taking care of you. You can't pour from an empty cup. I was actually talking to someone today about this, totally not related to our business, but she's feeling a little drained. I'm like, okay, make sure you're doing things that fill that cup up. Number five, do you work other than Scentsy? Most of you are new to this business. You probably do. Maybe you're working more than one business, but any work that's not your Scentsy work, what time does that take? And then six is anything comes to mind. And again, I didn't stress this in the beginning, but you're writing down things that have an appointment, if you will. And maybe that's it. Maybe you've got doctor's appointments every month. Maybe you've got dental appointments on the regular, or that of your children or your partner. Um, See, I brainstorm and think of things that even after the fact. So write all of that stuff down, assign it a time if it doesn't already have one, and then you're going to set that list aside. I don't want to lose our time. So if you need to take a screenshot really quickly, or if you're just taking notes, at least write down the 7 things, even though I said that it's more than that. Y'all just said we got duplicate fours, household chores and personal care. Sometimes it all runs together. Um, but these are things that are time bound that you have to be somewhere. There are other people depending on you to be there, and your house depends on you to do the things. And you have to take care of yourself. So I hope you've had time to get those jotted down. If you don't, like I said, this will be recorded and posted on YouTube, and we can come back to slides later if you want to ask about that. I will check the chat when I'm done to see, because I have a Q&A slide at the end, but we're going to move on to step number 2. Um, so step number 2 is really big because right now, set aside your step number 1 notes. And now we're moving on to step 2. What do you want from Scentsy? That's another great thing about Scentsy is it's all about what you want from it. It can be super simple. Do you want some extra money? And if you want money, how much per month do you want to make? Are you looking to build community? Do you want community from a team that you're going to build? Do you want community from, my slide says our team because I am a leader of a Scentsy team. But maybe it's you want community with your team members. If you're not in the Greatest Dreamers organization, do you want community from them? Do you want community from your customers? One note I wanted to put in here, I have more customers that have become friends than I have friends that got turned into Scentsy customers. And that's really common in the network marketing world. So that's a great way to make some new friends. Are you just looking for some you time? Are you looking for something that belongs to you, that it's your thing that you do, that you enjoy? Define that. Be specific. Um, like how much you time? What does that mean to you? That it's yours, that it's you time? Is it a thing that you do that's a positive benefit to your family, but you can also like, I'm working right now, family, doing a little me time, if it will. Lastly, are you wanting to be a hobby? You just want to order for yourself and your close friends and family? There's room, space within the Scentsy community, Scentsy family for all of those. But you need to be the one who defines what that is, not your sponsor, not your director, not your upline. This is all about you. What do you want from it? Do you want to travel? So is that the number 1? Do you want to make money to travel? Do you want to build the community so you can travel on Scentsy's dime through incentive trips? I've done that once and it was pretty freaking spectacular. I'm hoping to do it again. Excuse me. Okay. So jot those down, take a screenshot, whatever works best for you. Okay, and now we're going to start getting into a little more meat with step 3. And this is where the rubber is going to meet the road, friends. Where is your free time? So this is, you're going to go back and look at that one, because I don't think everything you wrote down in step number 1 covers 24/7, 365, right? There may be some days that are really heavy busy. There may be days that are completely free. There may be days that are a little blend, that it's busy, but you still got some time. So here's some questions to look at. Do you have little pockets of time here and there? And I will tell you, in the beginning, this is the most popular place to find your quote unquote free time. Little pockets here and there. The things that you're going to be doing, especially as a newer consultant, and then you can even figure it out once you get deeper into the business. But when I started, I was working a 40-ish hour a week job, and we had 2 15-minute breaks and a lunch break every day. I used that time to work my business to some extent. I would still have to do a few things when I got home in the evenings or after I got kids to bed, but I worked in those little pockets that I had. I have had, I've done some work sitting on the potty. You know what I'm saying? Um, You can do that kind of comes in, I guess, the multitasking thing. Do you have spots you can multitask? You know, when dinner is in the oven, can you take 10 of those minutes to do something for your business? And we'll get to the some things later, but are there things that you do that you could do some Scentsy work? Do you sit at your kids' practice? If you're sitting there, you're not coaching, but you're there. Do you have to pay attention to every second? Maybe you're that parent and that's okay, but maybe you're not. My son's a runner. Now my daughter's a runner, and practice, morning practices or school pickup lines. Those are places that I have definitely done some work because we can do a lot of things from our phones, right? Um, the other thought, is there anything you can steal time from that isn't adding significance to your life? And this is where the pinch is going to come, and this is where you may decide that you don't like me. Um, when you're doom scrolling, when you're binging on whatever streaming device, can you take 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes away from that time that you're spending there in the evenings or in the mornings or during the day and use that for business purposes? I know, don't be mad. And I'm not saying throw it away. I'm not saying get rid of it completely. I'm just saying, can you steal a little bit of that time to make things better for you and yourself down the road? You know, if future you going to ask you for taking that little bit of time and doing something different. And then another question, can you change anything that's going on to find some time? Meaning, can you get up a little earlier in the morning? Can you stay up a little bit later at night? Can you have lunch at your desk at work so maybe you can work on some things? Is there places that you can just switch it up a little bit? And again, it doesn't even have to be that it's an everyday thing. If you binge watch Bridgerton every night, or maybe take a couple of nights a week where you don't, or you take a couple of nights a week where you make yourself do some Scentsy stuff for 15 minutes before you let yourself doom scroll or binge. Okay. So get your screenshots, write your notes, or come back to it, or you can ask me to go back to a slide once we get to the end. And here is the other thing. I'm looking at my notes. See if I forgot anything. I remember that all pretty well. But caveat, you do not have to fill every waking moment with stuff. I am not saying take every second of your free time and spend it on Scentsy. That would wear you plumb out. That would be exhausting. You would be drained in a month, if not less. Um, but if you're wanting more from this business, you are going to have to sacrifice some time somewhere. But again, it does not mean every moment of free time needs to be taken up with Scentsy work. And one of the things that I do want to say is that um, the more you want from Scentsy, the more that was in step 2. Like if you're wanting some big time money or some big time community or big time travel, any of those things, the more you're going to want to find time to do something for your Scentsy gig. Does that make sense? Still not saying take it all up. You need free time. You need downtime. But you're going to have to work. You're going to have to find that space. And it's best to start small. It's like maybe you're going to pick up and do 15 minutes on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Or maybe if you work Monday through Friday and you've got Monday through Friday activities with the kids, maybe it's blocking off some time on Saturday or Sunday and say, I am working today for 30 minutes on this. And then I'll get back to it. Or maybe it's 30 minutes on Saturday and it's 30 minutes on Sunday. So you kind of got to blend those thought processes. How much do you want? And how much time is it going to take you to get there? Okay, so now we've talked around the some things and the things a lot. So let's move on to step 4, which is, what are you going to do? What are you going to fill all these pockets with? Why are we creating these time spaces? Well, there are, in my opinion, there are three core habits. This is actually stolen from Chuck as well. Um, three core habits that are good to form in your Scentsy business. And there's a James Clear quote that I absolutely love. He is the author of Atomic Habits. I have been trained on Atomic Habits. I've heard so many quotes, but I still haven't actually read the book. It's still on my TBR, but I still quote him. But he likes to say that you will not rise to the level of your, I think it's your plans. You will not rise to the level of your goals. You will fall to the level of your habits. So if you don't have good habits established, that's where you're going to get stuck. So if you want to rise above that, you've got to create good habits. Core habits for our business in Scentsy is number one, you need some customers, right? You got to make some sales. And we don't want just one sale. We want to create customers who are loyal. And maybe a good goal to have is how are you going to get 1 to 2 new ones every month? Not a whole lot. This is not like rocket science. This is not like you've got to convince the entire town to buy Scentsy from you, but you're meeting a couple of new people every month that you turn into customers. And then it's how are you going to keep them loyal? And then optional, are you going to build a team? And maybe you stop at customers because you're just going to be that hobbyist. And I'm going to tell you, having some time set aside still works for you. Who's just selling to themselves and their close circle. You don't have to worry so much about getting new customers, but you still want to think about keeping some loyalty so that you stay current as a consultant. Okay. So if you are wanting more, then you're probably going to build a team because building a team is, they say, customers are the income of today. Building a team is the income for tomorrow. And that's so true. So team members, again, how are you going to get new ones? How are you going to onboard them, or how are you going to teach them the processes? How are you going to help them be good consultants? And how are you going to take care of them beyond the beginning? Because a lot of people come in hot in those first 70 to 90 days. With Scentsy, we have those first 70-day goals are set aside. What are you going to do to take care of them after that? And then lastly, I think this is good for everybody, whether you're a consultant or you're a distributor for something else, you're in network marketing, or you are in just life. Personal growth. For Scentsy, that's how are you going to learn new things? And how are you going to get better at doing what you do? I've been reading Eric Worre book. I attended an Eric Worre training. I signed up for an Eric Worre masterclass today. So that's why I keep saying direct marketing, where usually I say direct sales, or I say in network marketing instead of direct sales. Because I've got that kind of mindset going from what I'm exposing myself to in the moment. But yeah, I've been doing direct sales for 15 years, and there's still so many things I can learn. And I honestly think the personal growth I've seen in myself in 15 years is probably the best outcome from being a consultant for me. I am very much not the person I was 15 years ago I think it's all good ways. My family, I think, thinks so too. Okay, so core habits, customers, team, and personal growth. So this brings us actually to step 4. Yay, we made it. And what are you going to do? We're going to do income producing activities. And I'm about to give you a screen that's going to scare you a little bit, but just take a deep breath. We'll get there. So again, what are you going to do in that time you've created, that space you've created, the space you found where you can dedicate a little bit of time every day to making yourself better as a Scentsy consultant. So here are 2 things that I consider must-dos. You must be sharing new products and or sharing the opportunity. If you're not sharing the new things that are coming out from our business, you're not sharing the products, how are people ever going to know about it? And sharing can come through social media, it can come through email marketing, it can come through text marketing, it can come through doing vendor fairs and shows, it could come through doing any kind of party. We are a party planning company. Maybe you don't call it a party, maybe you call it a scent event or a get together or whatever you want to call it, but that's a great way to share new products. And the other must do is follow up with customers and team if you have them. Um, I really wish somebody had told me in month one how important follow up was. Our saying is the fortune is in the follow up. And let me tell you, my business completely changed when I actually started doing follow up. There's all kinds of ways to do that. There's all kinds of systems you can create. But in this moment on February, what is it, the 12th of 2026, the best follow-up system is to download Scentsy Connect. It basically tells you what to do and when to do it, and it is a free app that connects directly to your workstation. It is amazing. I mean, if you did literally spent 5 minutes a day on that for the next 90 days, you would probably be making a difference in your business. Okay, so those are your must-dos. Your additional things that are really good to do, really good to include in your space, asking people to host. Like I said, we are a party plan business, and getting smells and product in front of people, get those smells under their noses is it makes all the difference. We are an experiential product, and a lot of people, once they experience it, they want it. I'm not going to tell you it sells itself because it doesn't. Orders aren't going to land in your lap without some sort of effort. And getting people to help you by way of party is one of the best ways to expand your customer base. Okay? Because you start with um maybe it's your best friend, maybe it's your mom, maybe it's a sibling. You get somebody you know and trust and say, "Hey, can you help me out? Can we do a party?" And you can do them on Facebook or on text. That doesn't get the product under noses. So if you're new, I would really, really, really recommend doing something in person, whether it's in your home, the host home, or some sort of public venue. Any of those work great. But asking them to do that, and here's the kicker that again, I wish somebody had told me 15 years ago, get somebody or multiple somebodies in that circle, because the key is you want them to invite people that you don't know, or you host it yourself and then get your circle to host the next one and introduce you to their circle, and then you get somebody there to book, and then you get introduced to their circle, and it tumbles, it builds on itself. It's like a snowball. Okay. Next, additional, if you're wanting to build that team, if you're wanting life-changing opportunities with a direct sales business, you want to build a team. So you're going to have to talk to people about the business opportunity. Ask people to join what you've got going on. I know it's hard. I know it's scary, but it really is fantastic and fun. And if you're a greatest dreamer, if you're in my downline, I'm going to here to help you every step of the way in every possible way that I can to help you be a great sponsor and to help your team be successful as well. And I hope all of you have that. If anybody's watching from somewhere else on YouTube, then I hope you have the same sort of upline. If you don't, send me a message. I'll help you out. And then lastly, really good things to do, training and learning from others. My upline, our SSD, Jacqueline Roy, with some of the other SSDs um, I just failed on the word, her organization, sorry about that, do something called Mindset Monday. I've been watching that for close to a year, more often than not. And then this year I made the commitment to show up. So Monday night at 8 o'clock, I show up and I hear what they have to say. And there's a lot of people that contribute. Like I told you, I'm kind of in this Eric Worre kick right now, so I'm learning there. He is not a Scentsy person. Oh, I got 10 minutes. Okay, we can do this. Whoops. So learning from others is important. And it's not a expensive thing, okay? So it's free. Scentsy offers training every week, and there's an entire training center full of so much stuff. Okay, so next up, income producing activities. Do not try to write this down. Take a screenshot. If you're on YouTube, I will link this in the comments. If I have time left, and I'm trying to hurry through this so that I do, then I will hopefully find this really quickly and put it in the comments. Caitlin, you're live. I will send you the Google link to it. Do not be scared. Do not do all of this stuff by any means. Okay? Just don't. It's a lot. So maybe you pick one thing from every segment here. Maybe pick a couple of things. Whatever again, it goes back to that, what do you want from this business and what time do you have? Depends on how many of these you want to pick out. And maybe you already know some things that you want to do. Okay. So I'm going to leave that up there for just a hot second. Okay. I hope took a screenshot. Now we're going to go on. So the next thing is finalizing your system. And so this is my daily, this was just me jotting down what I do. This was homework for Mindset Monday from earlier this year. And it was just me writing down what I do. I've been doing this 15 years. I've got a team. I've got a customer base. You probably don't have this much to do right now. Okay. So if you're in my team and you've looked at any of my lives broadcast on our team page, you've seen this baby. This is my system. This is week 2. This is what I want to get done in week 2. This is what I want to do every day. And this is week 2, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I have the good fortune that I am able to work this business full time. It doesn't take full-time time, but that's what I do. But I have one for week 2, week 3, week 4, and week 1. So different ways to set up your system. You can do a theme day. So maybe you have a customer day, you have a follow-up day, you have a team building day or a recruiting day or team day, whatever that looks for. You can theme them to the core habits that we talked about. There's a customers, there's a team, there's a personal growth. Maybe you do to-do lists. This is a fancy to-do list. I know Amy Mark Charles is a superstar director. She's been doing this forever. And the last time I heard from her talk about systems, she just had a weekly to-do list where she just kept a running to-do list. When she got something done, she'd mark it off. When she thought of more stuff she needed to do, she adds it down. So it doesn't have to be fancy. There's also something called time blocking. We're not going to have time for stuff. So let me just upgrade really quick. Okay. No, we're not. Let me just finish what I'm doing. I don't know how to go back to my presentation. We'll do this just really quick. Sorry. Well, I don't really want to do that, but I don't know how to get back. Okay. So where did it go? Oh, never mind. There we go. Time blocking, where you set aside a chunk of time and you assign it what you're going to do. Okay. You can have a planner or agenda. This is from Plum Paper. If you don't want to spend that kind of money, you can have a notebook. Okay. Planners are great, but they're not the be all end all. Or you can do some combo of any and all of the above, which I kind of sort of do. I don't have theme days so much anymore, but I definitely do the to-do list. I definitely do time blocking. I definitely have a planner. So I do multiple things. And this is something it's really got to be your thing. Your system has to be what you're going to use. Don't do something like this if you hate checklists. That's not going to work for you because that's the whole point of this for me. It tells me what to do when my Scentsy time comes around. So I get to the office. I've got Tuesdays and Thursdays set aside. The priority on those days is our cabinet business. So that gets first billing. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, this gets first billing and it gets second billing on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So I know when I get up there what I need to do when I get to that point because it's all written right here for me. But again, it's one of those things you have to do the thing that you're going to do. And you have to know yourself well to know what that is. And if you try something and it doesn't work, then you can absolutely try other things. And you're blending that free space and what you want to do to work your business, those income producing activities. So I'm going to put this screen up real quick, Q&A. You can email me, heather@prattscentbiz.com. You can text me, 479-235-5004. And I am going to stop share so I can check chat and you can let me know if you have any questions. And we've got like 2 minutes to go. And if it bails out, I'm sorry. No questions right now. That's great. So that works out really easily. Anytime you think of questions, don't hesitate to reach out. And I encourage you to spend, just a little bit of time. Maybe this is your project for the weekend. Well, never mind. It's Valentine's weekend. I'm sure you have better things to do than this. But and maybe that's the first thing. You find a time block where you're going to work on those things. So since you don't have questions left, I'm going to go back to sharing my screen. And we're going to look at those income producing activities. In case you want to jot any of those down. But like I said, I will send you the, making sure I didn't miss anything out of my notes. But I will send you the Google thing. Okay, I actually covered that fairly well. But I really want to stress that what you want out of Scentsy and the time that you have. And, early on, it's going to be a sacrifice. You're going to have to steal time from somewhere. And the absolute most important part is when you decide what time you are spending on Scentsy, it's intentional and it's productive. So do the things that are going to get you the biggest bang for your buck in return. And that's these things on the screen right here. The short is IPAs, income producing activities. Nothing super hard. And, you may text 5 customers a day for 5 or 10 days. It may take a while before you get the turnaround. But these are some really great ideas. Okay. I think I'm less than a minute to go, so I think we're going to call it a night. Thank you so much for tuning in. You're watching the replay. Thank you for watching the replay. Whoops, let me put my information back up there really quickly. So if anybody needs it, they can. And I look forward to hearing from you on how this went. If you know me, you know that I will ask. You have a good night as well. I am glad this week is winding down. It has been a rough one. It's been really good, but it's also been really busy. So thanks again for tuning in. I'm going to go ahead and end, and you have a good rest of your evening, and I will talk to y'all again. Bye-bye.